Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Hey folks, welcome back to the show. I'm your host, Dylan Silver, and today on the show we have a real estate involved engineer who has done quite a bit in the marketing space as well. We were talking before hopping on about building out an MLS and marketing and many other topics. Robert Thrasher, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me, Dylan. I appreciate you very much.
I always like to start off at the top, Rob, by asking folks, how did they get involved in the real estate space?
Yeah, so I kind of joke and I say, I never really chose real estate, but it seems to keep choosing me over and over again. Our first experience was like me and my team built an MLS for a local county up here in upstate New York, which, believe it or not, there are counties in this state who do not currently have an MLS system.
How are they putting homes up online? Are they using someone else's MLS?
Yeah, that's interesting question. They do have an MLS here in more of a central area, Utica, New York, Utica, Oneida, and Rome. They do have their MLS here. So yes, they actually some of them would pay to use the MLS, even though it's next door. It's not really where their property is. But other than that, they would struggle. They were failing. They were failing before they had an MLS. In a nutshell.
So were you a real estate guy? Did you do investing? Did they know you from other projects?
So we handled a lot of data, MLS data. So we were more like data packagers and data handlers. And as you know, the MLS has a really tight hold on that data. But some of the local newspapers up here had access to the data. And so ultimately what we did was really kind of behind the scenes. We actually helped transfer that data for people who were in the MLS in the Utica, New York area, but also didn't have the capabilities to take that and to merge it into their newspaper ads and stuff like that. So we were kind of data people for the MLS teams.
Now, this is an interesting niche to be in, because if I compare this to what you're involved in today with, growing the marketing and the media presence, it's almost two different sides of your brain. You got the engineering and then you got the marketing, but really that's what an MLS is. It's how do we market this to people and how do we technically execute on that? Do you ever feel like it's two totally different worlds, the engineering and the marketing?
Yeah. Yes, the answer is undoubtedly the answer to that is yes, very much so. I still to this day struggle to try to explain things, whether it's internet marketing, which it seems to me it's been around long enough. Most people should really kind of get it, but they don't. And of course, as you know, that changes market to market. Some markets are more savvy, but no, it's two different languages. And sometimes I'll find myself connecting with that side of the brain and understanding how this side's not going to get it. And a lot of my writings and stuff that led to me doing what I'm doing now, just the pure marketing side.
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
Well, really, because I knew how to put it down, put pen to paper. If anybody still does that, probably not. But put the words down into a document, like a technical document, so that others can understand what the heck am I saying. But it's always
now,
a struggle.
People are going to be translating their tech jargon through ChatGPT into normal person speak. They're going to be like, how do I explain this to a layperson, what it is that I'm doing?
Yes,
one of the interesting things when I think about how to get information out there, and when I think about an MLS specifically, is as we saw, I'm a real estate agent in Dallas, and of course with the NAR settlement changed a lot of things for a lot of people, and you have a lot of people who maybe don't think they need a real estate agent, but then also if you don't have a real estate agent, then you won't have access to the MLS, to my knowledge, in most areas. So when there was no MLS, and when you were in these areas where people was there a lot of for sale by owner, or were people still going to real estate agents? What were you seeing?
Actually, that's a great question. And the for sale, the FSBO thing, for sale by owner, was pretty prominent. And one of the local newspapers, I didn't get permission to say their name, but it has to do with homes, and it's a paper that basically goes out to all the different businesses and such. And they were making a good profit by capitalizing on this for sale by owner. They basically became the MLS for a lot of these smaller, small entities. And it's hard to sell. You know as well as I do. It's hard for me to go to my dad and say, no, you really should have this listed here. You really should do this. And your dad goes, huh? Like, not my dad necessarily, but when you go to people and it's our parents' generation, they don't think they need any of that stuff. And sometimes they don't. I guess they're right sometimes.
I mean, this brings up pivoting a bit here. There's this generational gap in understanding between, I'm a millennial and then my parents are baby boomers, and we have two totally different perspectives on real estate because from what I understand, interest rates were high in the 80s, but people were making money. And also, now when you compare it to now, we were talking before hopping on the show, for effectively a starter home, a middle-class home in the area that I grew up in, you need like a combined household income of $220,000 a year. Well, how are college graduates going to afford that? But just the dichotomy, the schism between what reality was for my parents' generation and what reality is for people, Gen Zers leaving college right now is just two totally different worlds.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that, Dylan. I got to tell you, I'll be straight with you. I'm probably your parents' generation, so that shows you what a morphism. It shows you where I'm at. But I get it. I tell people, look, when I was in high school, this is no joke. When I was in high school, I was in 8th grade at what's called Oriskany Elementary School here in this town, and I was in the 8th grade. When we got our first computers. 7th grade, we got an Apple, but nobody knew what to do with that, so we use it as an anchor on our boats. I literally have seen and understand both sides of this. That's why I think I'm a good person to put it down, put it on paper. Again, I don't know. Your generation doesn't probably know what paper is. No.
We have Notepad on our iPhones, Rob.
Yes, it's called Notepad now, right? So every once in a while, I will get out one of these that's called a pen. I like to see it on paper sometimes. It's, it's like I said.
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency. It's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
It is my generation. And luckily, for a lot of people who are in my generation, I know how to speak, talk to talk, so to speak. So yeah, it's huge. It's a huge difference from my generation to yours is a huge chasm. That's
Now,
a big deal.
What's also interesting, and I actually got into real estate for that reason, because I was renting and I was just trying to see, well, how am I going to buy a house? And I was realizing I have to have everything in a row. I've got to make sure everything is doing this. I've got to get promoted. I've got to make more money.
Right.
So many things had to line up, savings, of course. And I said, this is pretty hard. Let me figure out this real estate game. And that's what got me into real estate, was because of how tricky it was, and I perceived it to be. And when I think about, we talk about like a generational gap here. One of the things that comes to mind is this idea of there's going to be so many baby boomers who are retiring, right? And they're going to have businesses and they're going to have property, and someone else has to come in and take over that property. So actually, I don't know when it's going to be. I think it's probably happening now. There's going to be a huge opportunity for my generation and other people to assume these businesses and this property.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't have put that better myself. That was well said. And that's one reason why I'm still hanging on, like the cat with the one claw up here.
You're like, I'm not giving up yet. We're not leaving yet. We're not
I
leaving.
got more money to make, Dylan.
That's right. That's right. The longer you hold on to it, the faster you see the compounding. I
Yes.
do want to pivot a bit here, Rob, and ask you about getting into kind of the tech world, the engineering world. You mentioned, didn't see the first Apple computer until 8th grade or around there.
Right.
What was it that made you decide, hey, I'm going to go be a tech guy?
You know what it was? It was this thing called GW Basic. Have you heard of it?
Is that like a language?
I said like a language. Yes, Dylan, that was one of the first languages.
Okay. It's
Like
like
a
C++,
language.
but different.
It's yes. They used GW Basic to make a lot of the ones we use now, C++. I don't know where we're
Okay.
at, C++3. I don't know where we're at with that. To be honest, I haven't done any coding in quite some time. But yeah, as fast as computers are, as much as they do, as much as you talk about C++, all that was built on something 20 years ago. And ultimately, when you pull it all apart, it's the same thing. It's just way faster.
So did you walk me through some of the schooling that you went through and what the process was like back then, and then getting into the tech world back then? Was it like booming and lots of jobs, or was it very niche and difficult to find jobs in the tech world?
Oh no, it was very niche. It was very difficult. And matter of fact, what I did was in 1984, in my 11th year of high school, I signed up to go into the electronics portion of the United States Navy, and that was where I really gained a huge advantage over top of all my individual other people, my peers. I skyrocketed up through that, and it was just natural for me. Mathematics and science, whatever. Call me a nerd. I'm just a nerd. What can I tell you? Um, so I did go into the military. I ended up coming out of the military as a cryptologic technician is what it's called.
Hmm.
Um, and boy, did I kind of strike gold with that. That was what kind of forged me from that point, like in the late 1990s, where I was just a tech. Like I say, I was a techno nerd. That's all I can
Let's talk
say.
about going from military to civilian. Leave
Sure.
the military, and at that point, you're thinking, okay, and I don't know if real estate was a anywhere in your mind at that point, but were you thinking, okay, I've got to go find work, I'm going to go scale a company, or I'm going to go build? What was your mentality at that point in time?
That's a great question. So my transition from military to civilian life.
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
Basically it was a close friend of mine. I grew up 2 doors from him up here in upstate New York. He's also my cousin. And him and I have been partnering on and off for the past 40 years. And he told me to go to this website called yahoo.com. Yeah, you're laughing, right? And when I went to that website, I scrolled and scrolled and scrolled, and I called him back. I said, we can do better than this. These guys don't look like they're trying. That was my transition over to the internet side of things. I actually use the internet, which I was not aware of. When I was in cryptology, we actually used the original, it was called ARPANET. That was the thing that people that wanted to get online, like colleges and institutions and whatnot, they piggybacked off from a military installation called ARPANET.
So did you build like a better version of Yahoo? Did you compete with Yahoo at that point?
Not so much. I just used that knowledge and I kind of banked it so that was roughly like 1992-ish, 93-ish. 96, I started really kind of looking closely at Alta Vista and InfoSeek, if anybody remembers those names, because they had their own algorithms, before Google. So I started looking at how the results come back, and before you knew it, people were searching for terms like search engine marketing, search engine optimization, and me, Rob Thrasher, was coming up at the top of the list every time. That's how I got New York Times came. And so we never really competed with them. We just used it to the advantage of our customers who wanted to be up higher in the search listings.
And so was real estate something that you sought out because you were saying, well, this is going to be an opportunity, or were people coming to you in real estate saying, well, how do we show up higher in search? We have these homes.
Great question. So kind of both of those things. We were there. People started to know our name a little bit, which was nice. And they asked us, can I get my house is for sale? Can I get it? I said, well, as an individual looking at $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 for like custom work, it's not going to pay you back. So we didn't do that, but we did start working with a company up here. They still have a paper. It's, I forget the name of it, but it's a homes related magazine. They do a lot of FSBO, for sale by owners, and they do some of their own search engine marketing. And I started working with them. I was writing articles for their business journal, and it just kind of, transformed into somebody said, hey, we don't have an MLS out here. It was Herkimer County, right near us, like 10 miles this way. And
build us an MLS, yeah.
Yeah, they said, we would like to have an MLS. Can we do that? And we said, I don't know, how much money can you raise? That's my first question.
Yeah.
Show me the money. We can do anything you need. Right?
That's right. Come on. What was it? Cryptologist.
And so cryptology goes back to when the YouTube, or what was it? U-257, I think. The submarine that was a Nazi submarine, we took equipment off that. It was called Enigma. And we won the war because we got to that equipment. And we still, to my knowledge, I don't know this for sure, they're still using this similar cryptology methods in the military.
And so it was basically, reversing their signals in effect, right?
Yep. Yeah. Yep.
I think in a civilian concept, there's a lot of overlap, I think, with what we're seeing right now with currencies and crypto. We talk about crypto, right? Yeah. And you talk about being able to have a decentralized currency, and I think a lot of people are looking at that. But then also we're looking at AI, and AI. I tend to think, I didn't mention this to you before, Rob, but I'm in a software engineering boot camp. And from the time that I started a year ago to now, it's almost like you don't need to ever look for things like syntax errors or anything like this because AI does it all for you. Like there's no real grinding away like there used to be.
So on that note of AI, my actual YouTube channel is 99.9% AI. I like to tell people like this, like I've got producers and writers and authors, but it's all one, it's all AI. And then I'm the director, I put it together, I look at it, boom, I publish it. Almost exclusively AI, ChatGPT, which I'm a an esteemed plus member, if you will. Only costs me 20 bucks, you know?
That's right. They got one that's $200 a month. I don't know if it's printing gold or what it's doing, but it's doing something.
It's doing something. So what happened since I started with AI about like 6 months ago? And like I told you earlier, I'm at 8.5. Sorry, I just checked this morning. I'm at 9 million views in the last 28 days. And that's almost all my knowledge from search engine work combined with my AIs. That's all it is. Everybody can do this. I had a question. Somebody said, do you feel like you're cheating by using AI? I said, no, you can go buy it too. Yeah. Everybody has access to it. You can do a lot of what I'm doing for free with ChatGPT.
I imagine people were saying the same thing. Do you feel like you're cheating? And you probably remember this. I remember this. When you're using like graphing calculators, do you feel like you're cheating? You know, you're doing it all in the calculator. And then when things evolved, I don't know if you ever heard of a program called Wolfram Alpha. But there was this program that was like doing calculus in like the middle 2010 timeframes. And people were saying, well, that's kind of cheating. You're not doing it by hand. So then now, I mean, now we're so far beyond that. Now it's like, you know, well, at what point do you just kind of throw your hands up and say, well, if you can't beat them, join them. I'm just going to get a certification in AI. That way I'll be able to keep up with the Joneses.
Yeah, in a nutshell, that's what I would have said too. You said it just exactly the way I would describe it. And am I cheating when I use computer programming? Was I cheating when I programmed the robot to pick and place the parts? I don't call it cheating if you want, but I'm ahead of the game.
Yeah, processes, systems.
Yeah,
we are coming up on time here, Rob. Where can folks go if they want to reach out to you or if they want to learn more about your YouTube channel or get in contact with you in any way?
You can Google my name, Rob Thrasher. Thrasher is spelled like the hockey team, as well as the magazine, THRASHER. That's all you got to search. You can do it in YouTube or Google, wherever you want to go. There I am, whether you want me or not.
Rob, thank you so much for coming on the show here today.
Dylan, thank you, buddy.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.